right, so yeah, we're finally getting to the meat and potatoes of how 2024 is lining up. And I've already done the reading on Megan's side of this situation. So I felt like it was only right. I asked all of you down in the comments to let me know if you'd like to know about Emilio's side of the story and the energy that I pick up around him. And I got a resounding amount of yeses. So we're going to tap into the energy today around Emilio Coochie, better known as Emilio Garcia. Well, that's his actual name. Professionally, he's known as Emilio Coochie. Emilio Coochie is, or was, pardon me, he was the cameraman for Megan Thee Stallion. Excuse the sage ash on the table, everybody. So I tapped in on Emilio during my last live on Wednesday, 2 days ago. And my apologies to everyone who's been waiting for this reading. Y'all, it's hectic where I am right now because of the NFL draft. So it's a tad bit busy. But I got time, so we're going to go ahead and tap in. Angels, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest heavenly order, help me to tap into the energy that surrounds Emilio Coochie. Is he suing from a just place, or is this just for clout and someone who is being vindictive? Let's tap in and see. And if anyone possibly could, do me a favor and timestamp this for 2 minutes and 40 seconds for where the reading starts, and I will pin it down in the comments. I thank you in advance. Show me the energy around Emilio Coochie. Okay, first card out, Five of Swords. Okay, this shows that there is heavy conflict in communication. That's wow. So the bottom of the deck is the Chariot and the Five of Wands. Y'all know I read as I shuffle, not just as, you know, I pull cards that hit the table. If you've been with me, it's a method to this. So now it's like forward movement with fighting this because there has been so much conflict in communication. Why was there conflict in communication? Okay, so you got the Fool here, which means that someone took a leap of faith, okay? And that leap of faith came after this conflict in communication, the Wounded Warrior, and the Knight of Coins. So, once again, this is what popped out at the bottom of the deck. He may have tried to communicate with her and her camp to no avail, which definitely broke him down because he ended up in a place in space where it affected his money and things may have been moving really slow at the time. He could have really needed that money to help him transition into a new start. Yeah, here we go. And we just saw this at the bottom of the deck. The Nine of Wands, okay? So, Nine of Wands is someone who doesn't easily give up. This is someone who, you know, ends up down and they get back up again. No matter how many times you knock them down, they'll get back up again. So, he's a very resilient soul. But this all came out of heartbreak. Tell me more about why this came out of heartbreak. So it's the way that everything came about, the way that everything ended, the way that the transition happened. Bottom of the deck, you have the Devil and the King of Swords. So this is someone who is going to clean house by telling the truth. This is someone who is like, listen, if we're going to do this by the book, this is the book, and I'm going to hold you to task when it comes to negative actions and practices. So out of the way things ended, how they transitioned is where he decided to make this choice. Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck, he may have even countered offered. This gives me the feel of someone who tried until they ran out of opportunities, or they ran out of patience. And then you got, here it is, the Star, which represents having hope, and also the Aquarius. So he was hoping that they could, you know, bring this to a happy medium, so to speak, that she would be receptive, but it looks like a lot of conflict in communication. The Wheel. The Wheel represents fortune, and when it's in the upright, that means you are going to be receiving, or on the receiving end of a fortune. Wait a minute. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in here and try again, but the Sun came out. And it's like, now that things have been illuminated, and also that things have possibly, it's like something was, I had to make sure I didn't drop another card. Okay. It's like something had to be called out, and somebody didn't want to admit to certain behavior, or didn't want to be honest about a possible alleged agreement. And it feels like that's what brought this Five of Swords, that caused the conflict in the communication. King of Cups. So the harsh communication, the horrible things that may have been said, possibly back and forth, this put him in a very deep place of emotional woes. He didn't really show how he felt, but he was genuinely hurt. Allegedly. And this brought the weight of the world on his shoulders. It brought a lot of complication to him, that they couldn't come to an agreement. Yeah. So, like I said, there was something that came to light that was exposed about this agreement, okay? Due to something being exposed due to this agreement, he decides to take a leap of faith and expose what the actual problem could possibly be that brought down the house between the both of them. Yes, this is an employment concern, but there are many things that are attached to this that affected the agreement. Professional and non-professional, allegedly. So that's horrible. So you got the 9 to the 10 when you got the wands here. So the 9 of wands is somebody, like I said, that's resilient, gets back up again. No matter what, they fight, and they fight the good fight of faith over and over again. But it's becoming a burden to him. It should never be a burden for somebody to come before you to get whatever is owed to them. So this is showing me that he loved what he does, or he loved what he was doing. And It's like out of nowhere. It's like all of his abundance and what he loved just came to an end. And without any further ado, he was forced to move on. Alrighty, so here it is. The Lovers also represents choice, but this is saying, because it falls under the Two of Wands. There was a choice that had to be made, a choice that was made, allegedly, due to a situation between lovers, and it was a wish fulfillment. And here it is, the Three of Wands falls under the Star. So the Three of Wands, here it is. This is a person who's on the dock waiting for their ships to come in, waiting for opportunities. So when this card falls under the Star card, this is hopes and waiting and wishing for whatever your blessing or your opportunity is that's supposed to come in. This is going to be a ships or a blessings coming in from the Aquarius that walked away from this relationship with you. And a working relationship is a relationship, so yeah. So yeah, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, we know the Queen of Swords represents air sign, right? And we know that Megan is an air sign. So it's like, you know, he's stating that she gave birth to a situation, and really all he wanted was an apology and to settle this amicably. But he wasn't able to. There was a lot of harsh communication. Also, I'm not going to say everything that I see right here because I don't want to be messy. There's so much that he could have said, things that he knows about her and her personal life that he really has not tapped into, that he has not said. Part of it is out of respect. The other part of it is he still has some level of integrity, and I'm going to say, you know, Emilio, stick with that, run with that, because it works out better for you in the end. Bottom of the deck is Seven of Cups. So he exhausted every option, everything that he could have possibly done to resolve this matter before he took this leap of faith to expose what happened with this contract and this agreement that was between them, due to how he was forced out the opportunity. So you got the King of Swords and you've got the World. So this is somebody, and it doesn't have to be a man who is behind this energy. This is just somebody who operates in very heavy masculine energy. King of Swords is somebody who will cut through, you know, any type of relationship. They can be very cutthroat even with the way that they communicate. Even if it is something that's true, they don't have to communicate in such a derogatory way or such a aggressive way. But this is showing that the way he had been handled, somebody just spoke to him like he was nothing. This is the energy that I'm seeing. I haven't received any cards in the reverse, so I'm not seeing any ulterior motives with him, but I'm going to stick with this because there's no Seven of Swords. I don't see anything to where he put anything together in a, you know, sneaky, manipulative way. Yeah, so Two of Pentacles. he juggled with what he was going to do after this came to an end, because, like I said, it brought heartbreak, right? Three of Swords. And you've got Eight of Swords that just fell out at the bottom of the deck. Five of Pentacles, excuse me. Eight of Swords fell out. Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. This is someone who's been pretty much caught between a rock and a hard place, and this could possibly be affecting his money because it's hard for him to either work, or he ended up behind on bills and he's been playing catch up due to what happened. And this ended up being a hangman for any hopes that he had for any opportunities coming in, any blessings coming in. So what I'm getting is that when it was all said and done, the rug was snatched from up under him. He ended up going through financial hardships. And at this point in time, he really needed his money. He needed his money more in this moment than he did ever before. And I'm seeing where he has made several concerted efforts to reach out, to handle this behind the scenes, and it was to no avail. So he did, the only thing that he had left to do was, hey, I worked, I was supposed to be paid, can you please pay me? It seems like every time he requested his pay, he ran into opposition. So what is this that the Queen of Swords is hiding? Because he comes off more in the feminine energy, and it's like I'm literally channeling Alicia Keys that I won't tell you secrets. Your secrets are safe with me. What's the song she talk about? I'll be a diary. So he has a lot of secrets on her. He's kept a lot of secrets. It feels like he didn't want to go to court, but since he had no other choice and his hand was forced, he was going to play chess and not checkers. Yeah, so moving on, professionally, things are going to work out well for him. He was able to go out and still move around. But this definitely, this past situation, things coming back from the past to hunt people, because I get more so of the masculine energy around Megan, because it's like there's an aggressive energy attached to her. But these are things from the past that she has to deal with that are coming back to haunt her. And that usually happens in Mercury retrograde. So here it is. You've got Strength falling next to the Two of Pentacles. And that's somebody just juggling, trying to hold things together, trying to stay strong, trying to maintain. Seven of Pentacles is, it's unfortunate, because this is a as you sow, so shall you reap type card. And it didn't have to turn into this. The seeds that turned into this harvest was simply him not being heard, no one properly returning his calls, and more importantly, him not receiving his pay. So you've got the Nine of Swords on top of the Devil falling out with the Hangman. So this is someone who has deep anxiety, doesn't get much rest because he's worried about, the toxic energies attached to this whole situation, allegedly. He worries about the people connected to certain people in the situation and how their alliances will affect him. High Priestess falls on top of the moon with the Two of Cups down here at the bottom of the deck. I think that, and I've said this before, it will be very, very, very imperative for them to settle this case out swiftly and quietly with an NDA, because there's so many things here that can be said that will destroy whatever image she's trying to build, because it looks like he really knows a lot of her secrets, her personal issues, and you never want to push someone to the point of no return, because you don't know what people will do once you put him in the energy of having their back against the wall. So I see him victoriously getting his money and a cherry on top from this independent woman, which would be Megan in this situation. And this could be a sizable amount. Yeah, everybody doing yard work today, so please excuse the noise. It's very unfortunate, because this could have been handled in a whole nother manner if she would have just kept this quiet and paid this man and had him to turn over whatever footage and pictures he had of her and sign an NDA. It's the price of doing proper business. When you do business, this is the reason why you need to be professional. Because when you start to teeter off into being unprofessional, you open yourself up to things like this. This lawsuit, from what I'm seeing, guys, this didn't have to happen. So Queen of Coins falling on top of the Six of Cups. So if he had a problem like what I'm seeing, where his money was coming slow and things were, touch and go for him, and it was hard for him to get on his feet, money moving slow towards him, and his stability, he's not going to have to worry about that too much longer. Yep. Independent woman. So, So, look at this. It's a transfer of energy, because it's like the Five of Wands falls on top of the Nine of Swords, which means having anxiety over fighting this case, but it's going to bring balance through a new beginning. And there is going to be a final judgment on this situation, and it's looking like, Knight of Wands. It could come through swiftly, but they have to do some kind of negotiating. Seven of Cups. They have to consider all options before they close this out. So if I was him, I wouldn't release any more information. I would remain quiet, because whatever it is that he has to say, this Four of Cups that falls on top of the High Priestess and the Moon, if he is forced to describe the nature of their working relationship over the past 5 years, he has a lot of secrets. He has a lot of knowledge. And that can come out while he's being cross-examined. And Seven of Cups, Four of Wands. This is going to make it dicey for someone's stability, because Seven of Cups is also my card of partaking in party favors or being inebriated. And that falls on top of this 10 of coins. So there's a whole lot more information that could come out if this goes to court. And it will not really fare well against Megan when it's all said and done. 7 of Wands falls on top of the Queen of Pentacles. So I'm hoping this doesn't have to go to a nasty place where people get to mudslinging and exposing, because it's already a lot that was just exposed, and that was just one incident. But this is a person who will gladly meet her in the middle of the street if she tries him. He tried to go the professional route, but if she wants to go low, I'm not seeing where he won't go lower. So for the sake of working with people in the future, I would keep it cute and keep it mute unless the questions come about from the legal team. If it's that way, then you have no other choice. You have to say what needs to be said. But I do see that he is holding, you know, a lot of her secrets. And then you got the Hermit here. So also this man was ostracized by the independent woman. And this brought, you know, deep regret and like humiliation when she cut him off and distanced herself from him, because he's like, wait a minute, I didn't do anything. And it's showing that this was a wish fulfillment from the hot girl herself, the Queen of Wands. She allegedly ostracized him, put him in a position to where he was cut off from everybody. And it's just kind of, it's not kind of, it's sad. Y'all, this could have all been wrapped up with an apology and a check or some cash, and it would have been over. This is what I'm seeing. I do see that this man exhausted every possible capability that he had to try to settle this in a professional manner behind the scenes. I do see where it looks as if he's going to be able to prove that he did try to handle this in a very professional way. I don't know where I got that word from, but maybe that was the nature of, you know, the working relationship, you know, professional on one end and a little ratchet on the other. But he tried to meet her at every possible turn so he could just get his money and move on. And it's the audacity. You know, sometimes that will piss people off the most. It's, how do you take it upon yourself to mistreat me, to do me any kind of way, when you open me up to things that were unprofessional, and then got upset because I witnessed something that you openly did in front of me, and because you may not have wanted anybody to know that you had that type of moment, you turn around and take it out on me, and as a result, I lose income and the ability to be able to support myself. That does not look good in a court of law, and that is not going to fare well with employment law in California. So I wish Emilio well. Thank you everyone for being patient for this reading, y'all. And I will be back with somebody else's shenanigans, because Lord knows everybody is cutting up right about now. I'll talk to y'all later. Be blessed. Have a wonderful evening, afternoon. I'm recording this early in the AM, so y'all, goodness gracious. all he had to do was just apologize and pay this man. And if any other time is the worst time to have things come out in public record that can, mar your image, right now is the time. She's got this tour. She has several other lawsuits that are pending. This is not a good time to have something like this hit the fan. But it is what it is. This is the cost of doing business and being unprofessional. Pay people accordingly. Nobody has to chase you. Nobody has to expose you. And everybody that works on your team should have signed an NDA when they joined your team. That way, things like this couldn't have even been discussed and put on the record to discuss in court anyway, because he should have had an NDA from the gate. But we'll have to watch and see how this turns out. Hopefully it's, settled behind the scenes quietly and it doesn't go to court. But if it does, I see a lot more being exposed, and she's going to have to pay this man way, way more than what was owed. Initially, I believe it was only $4,000. So that $4,000 is going to multiply exponentially, and it's going to happen extremely fast, because now you got punitive damages, incurred interest, among other things like court costs, lawyer fees. You could have just gave him the $4,000. You talk about being rich, $4,000 should be nothing to you. But y'all, I'm done. This reading is adjourned, and it's plenty more for me to tap into. So I'm going to get to running a few errands, and possibly I can do a few more readings today. Talk to y'all soon.